All right, let's see what we have here. There it is. Awesome. Looking good. All right, let me get this pulled up over here. How's the sound, everybody? Everybody hear me okay? Let's see. We've got the Tactical Rabbi. What's going on, man? Glad you could tune in. Right at the start. #1 comment right up there at the top. William S., what's going on? There's Andy Alphabet. Hello, sir. How are you? Adam Hall, what's going on? Awesome. I already see stuff flying at 5x5. Uh-oh. I don't know what that means. Yep. Yeah, guys, make sure I see some stuff flying around there. Make sure you hit that like button. There's Gary Farron. Going to be down here in a couple months taking a class. Thoughts on the Gen 6 Glock. Hit that slide release, guys. Yep. Hit the like button, guys. Good evening. Hello, Liberty Seeker. What's going on? I haven't heard anything about the Gen 6 Glock. So is there more information out other than the fact that it's coming out? Let me do some quick looking around. Boo. Let me see. Let me get these comments pulled back up while I'm scrolling. What's going on? Adventure Mart, Tony Ulmer. What's going on, guys? Thank you for tuning in. So we just had someone ask about the Gen 6 Glocks. I'm trying to find it. The link I clicked on was like, this is all about Gen 6 Glocks, but now I can't find anything. Anyway, that's Facebook. I don't want to go to a Facebook link. Just try this one. Engineered for you. Dang, 40 days for the Gen 6 release, huh? They did a Gen 6 shoot a few days ago. Excellent, thank you. What's going on, Cat Ass? All right, so the new generation. Man, I wish... Sometimes whenever I'm doing one of these live streams, I miss Shelton because I'm like, it'd be cool if Shelton could just like throw this up where you guys could see. So what are their big takeaways? Let's see. Glock serrations. Yeah, okay. I see them. What's this number? Thumb rest. It's textured and extended for increased control during recoil. Let's see. Slide stop lever enlarged border. Unintentional activation. I see there. Okay, very cool. Flat-faced trigger. Maintains the safe action trigger system. Okay, so they're changing from the curve, right? What's going on, Dale? Big dog status. Hello. Yeah, so I'd be curious. I'll go and try to watch the video of them shooting it. I'd be curious to see like what are the big takeaways. I mean, just looking at the picture they have here, you can tell a difference in the trigger right there. It says that they extended is that the beaver tail that they're talking about? Extending somewhere I saw. Yeah, enlarged beaver tail. I mean, that's not a bad thing. I've seen some students eat up their hands and impede the slide by getting too high up in the tang. So, optic ready system. So I hope that's better. It doesn't look better than what the MOS that they have right now. It does come with the different thingy things. Is that different backstrap sets for people who care about that? Okay. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's a Glock. It'll be fine. Here's my thoughts on just looking over this real quick. I mean, it's a Glock. It's probably going to be cool. A better injector. Okay, looks like it's stippled from the factory. Yes, it does look like it's stippled. New trigger, swelled grip, undercut. Let me see. New optic cut, gas pedal, textured grip, a part of the new V series. Yep. What's going on, Wex? Hello, hello. Optic plates are polymer, yeah. Now, Adventure Mark, Glock should change nothing. Why fix something that is not broken? I can understand where you're coming from, absolutely. Like if I had to pick something out of here that I'm like the most hesitant about, it would be changing the trigger. Now Glocks are notorious for having shitty triggers, but like that's what I learned on. So like a Glock trigger has never bothered me. But a lot of people seem to like the flat face stuff. Like the beaver tail being longer. I can't think of a reason why that's a bad thing. The textured grip, all that other stuff is just like like the little things like that. I'm like, whatever. So I'm fine with them making improvements. It's just, do those improvements impede anything that was working well before, right? So, and I can't imagine things like that. Like some of it's just silly. It's like the thumb rest, like, okay, that's whatever. What's going on, Dylan? Sorry I missed you guys when you came down. Gun is gun. Learn to run gun. Yeah, no, absolutely. The not as cool Scott hit the nail on the head. That's funny. Yeah. All they did was take the bits and bobs people have been doing aftermarket and make it factory. Yeah. Hey, look, there's Heraclitus Select. Reminding you guys to hit the like button. I appreciate it. You guys doing my job for me. Yeah, hit the like button. Now, when we say like button, we mean like physically. You have to like underneath the screen, go next to the. Oh shit, where's it at? I don't know where it's at anymore. Maybe I can't like it because it's my page. Oops, I clicked a button. Anyway, go to the video itself and hit the thumbs up from there. They could have stopped at Gen 3. They could have. They really could have. I mean, Gen 3 Glocks are great. But why? Why stop there? The poly single guide rod is an interesting choice. I'm not 100%. Now you guys know I'm not a big gear guy. I don't know the ins and outs of guns and stuff like that. So explain to me why that's an interesting choice. Like, what is that doing? Let's see. Adventure Mark, been to 6+ fighting pistol and I've never seen a Glock go down. I even saw a P80 last the whole class. Yeah, dude. I mean, I talk about this often, but like, it's been a while since I have seen a gun just not make it through a class. And the number one issue that we have are guns with metal magazines tend to, they just get dirty. I don't know what it is about the metal magazines, but they just, they end up causing some problems. But that's just from, that's not an implication, or I don't look at it as too much of a negative on the gun itself. Because hopefully in your gunfight, you're not doing, 50 reloads into the dirt in the middle of this thing, right? So P80 is just a Gen 3 Glock with a different body. Love my Gen 3, but I do like the grip texture on a Gen 5. Yeah, exactly. I had a Glock go down from Dylan here. Had a Glock go down because of ammo, and I just beat it open and went back to doing the thing. Yeah, what was? I did have to just rod something out of a gun the other day. They kept the best feature, which are them plastic sights. That's funny. That's funny. The last I heard. Damn, that's funny. Do all this other stuff, but you doesn't come factory with I don't know. Whatever. Their whole thing, the last I heard was everybody replaces them anyway, so why put a lot of time and money into them? But some people don't, I've always hated hearing that, because if that is true, it's like some people don't go out and buy better sights, and they're rocking it. Yellow big dots are what Glock should come with factory. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. You've converted me. I'm a big fan of the yellow big dots now. Once the range gets to Gen 6, I'll go check it out. I don't know if I'll buy one right away, but maybe my Blue Label buy. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where like someone is going to show up to a class with it here in about, what, 40? Here in about 47 days, probably, someone will show up with a Gen 6, and I'll let you guys know what I think then. Yeah, I mean, they should be. That's my thing. Is it's like, well, like, yeah, it should be metal sights for the guys who aren't going to replace your sights. It if we're taking if they're taking it serious, like what this is meant to be used for, I don't know. It's like, why do something subpar that people might be relying on to save their life? I don't know. Making first impression video, Joey. Yeah, absolutely. That'll be the plan. If someone shows up with a Gen 6, I'm probably going to have them I'll probably have them stay after class and just do a bunch of shorts and stuff with it. What was Dylan speaking blasphemy about? The Glock going down because of ammo. Yeah, it happens, man. Especially when you're training on a budget. You throw some of that steel or aluminum case stuff up in there, and it gets dirty and da 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 da. Gen 5 grew on me. This is from Wes Myers. Hey, weren't you just in class? Gen 5 really grew on me fairly quickly. I'm sure Gen 6 will as well, as long as they prove as reliable as we expect. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is I don't know. I'm not worried. I don't think you were. I don't think you were blaspheming about that. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's Glock. Like, short of them going in and changing a bunch of the internals, and they might have, maybe they do, because this is all part of that, V series thing, like the Tactical Rabbi was talking about. Oh, hey guys, this is me being a bad friend. If you haven't followed the Tactical Rabbi over there on all of their socials, of course, the YouTube channel, Instagram, all that good stuff, you should. If you haven't seen, sorry, I haven't done it. I'm a little rusty from doing this. If you haven't seen, but they are starting a YouTube series where they're going and they're talking about different things that people should know along this martial path and things like that. I believe the series is called Shooters in the Field, and we were fortunate enough to be in one of the early episodes, and our video is up right now, but you should watch the whole series. I'm sure that he worked with some other great instructors in other schools and stuff like that. Our episode is focused on the medical side of things. Of course, we went out, we got some action shots, things like that. But yeah, you guys should check that out. Follow the Tactical Rabbi. Always puts out informative stuff, but a lot of his posts are entertaining as well. So make sure you guys give them a follow as well. So anyway, yeah. So like, unless they change a whole bunch of that stuff, then it's going to be a Glock, a lot of us who are used to the trigger, it might be tough to adjust at first because we're going to that flat trigger instead, but no, look at his big dot comment and then flog him out behind the contractor range. Where was... All right, I'm missing it. I can't find it. Doesn't matter. Gone. It's gone. Someone removed it already. Willie Everett grinding up some deer meat. Excellent. That's perfect. What are my plans for the NRA annual meeting? David Forbes, what's going on, man? Let's see. Yeah, so speaking of the NRA, Wexler talking about this. If you guys are either a life member or you've been a yearly member for, 5 years, keep an eye out in your mailbox for the ballot that comes through. Should be in February. And when you see Isaac's name on the ballot, just put that dot in. Do not put any more dots on it. That gives all of your votes to Isaac. Boom. And we're going to get him back on the board. So as far as my plans for the NRA annual meeting, same as usual. That's coming up in April, right? It's the weekend before Mag Dumps and Mascara. So that's going to be that's in Houston this year. So yeah, same as always. We'll get in there probably Thursday evening, go over Friday, walk around, try to make either some shorts, maybe some videos, depending on what we see. And that's it. We'll just go down there, have a good time, make some videos, stuff like that. I always have fun at the annual meeting. So not too, I don't have to have a plan to want to go. So Will says, I'm sure Glock would send you one or show up to your range with one for a video. They might. I mean, you guys know James talked about this in the past, but like, we promote them. We're big fans of Glock. James did the whole every gun should be a Glock, so on and so forth. But we honestly I won't say that we never had a good relationship, not a good relationship with him, but not much of one. James knew some people there, and so we got some connections that way and stuff, but I don't know if I reached out if they would send it. Anyway, alumni meetup, please. Okay. Yeah. Let's see, probably not Saturday night, maybe Friday night, that first night that we're down there. I will start working on it. And when I forget, send me a message. What's the big attraction with the flat trigger? I've never shot one, so I don't know either. I think it's like a personal preference kind of thing. On Glock's website, it says that it's supposed to help with a consistent trigger press every time or something like that. Something silly, some buzzwords. Let me see. I'll tell you what they say. Standard with a flat face trigger for consistent finger placement and trigger pull. Trigger maintains the safe action system for uncompromising safety and reliability. I mean, I don't know how a flat trigger helps you consistently put your finger in the same place. I don't know. That's a little weird. I think that some of the stuff that they're doing is because I was talking about someone about this the other day, and on the live stream a little bit, but you guys know it does really feel like there is it's a flat range thing. Yeah. It feels like there's a real, like, what's the word I'm thinking of? A lot of people want to take skill-based classes. A lot of people want to shoot real fast and accurate, right? And on the guns that do that stuff well, they tend to have the flat triggers, correct? Am I crazy in thinking this? But yeah, like when I think of like a race gun, it typically has I think of some dude with like a flat trigger and things like that. So I think some of this stuff is them implementing those things to try to pull some of those guys in, because not a lot of people are showing up to their, what's Jedelinsky's class? Anyway, they're not showing up to one of his classes with their Glock right now, if it's in Houston, I'll see you there. Hell yeah, man. If you've never been, it's a blast. So much fun. It's more fun to go as a consumer to the NRA show versus like SHOT Show, because you can actually walk away with stuff at the NRA show. Mechanical leverage. You think so? I mean, I'll take your word for it, Dylan. You know me. Yeah, well, most people, right, Wexler? Let's see. Speaking of Glocks, Joey, are there any opportunities coming up for someone that has one that wants to learn how to fight with one? Look at you go. Yeah, we actually have a pistol class coming up tomorrow. I feel like I just got done dealing with Tim. So you guys saw David Forbes. He was up in here, and Wes Myers. We just got done with our annual December shotgun class. It was a hoot and a half. Very good group of students stayed through for the whole way of. A lot of good students that were in just regular fighting shotgun as well. But man, what a good time. Good group of guys. Tim came out of retirement and crushed it, had a blast. So yeah, now we have fighting pistol coming up tomorrow, and then fighting rifle this weekend. And then the bug out coming up soon as well. This will be my last. These next two classes are the last for the year. We're going to take our Christmas break, enjoy ourselves a little bit. And then, speaking of fighting pistol, though, something I do want to talk about for you guys who are thinking or trying to convince your significant other to come down for mag dumps and mascara, we have put a fighting pistol on that same weekend. So it gives you an excuse. If you've had fighting pistol before, you can get that class for half price. You can bring the girlfriend or the wife down, or whatever, niece, nephew. No, not nephew. Only girls are allowed in the mag dumps and mascara. But yeah, bring that person down that you're trying to get to take their training more serious. They go over there and they'll hang out with Kayla and Heather and Brickell, and then you come take fighting pistol with me. I'll probably end up having to pull Tim in. We'll just make a good time of it. Kevin says just train more. You're probably right. Let's see. Performance shooting can be defensive shooting, but defensive shooting is not performance shooting, referencing flat triggers. Right. Yeah. I agree with you. You know me. I talk about the skill-based stuff all the time and how I think it's important. Hello, what's going on, Mag Training? What's going on, man? Dylan, yes, there are still openings. So either shoot me a message or email me or something like that, and we can go. I'll give you the times for it. What's up, Fabio? Thanks again for an amazing weekend last month in class. Appreciate all you guys did. Hey, man, you did all the hard work. I don't, all I did was y'all fight every once in a while. I might have to make a trip up to the Tactical Epicenter of the Universe sometime this week then. Oh, yeah, dude. Bring it on. It's actually a decent-sized pistol class tomorrow, so I wouldn't mind having a RO. The rifle class, I think there's only one person signed up for it at the moment. What's going on, Project 1868? Hello. Yeah, no. So I talked a lot already. Yeah, I don't know. I'm super excited. Tim retired. Yeah, a little bit of a joke. He likes to say he's semi-retired. Tim is getting older. Not, I mean, we all know how old Tim is, right? I mean, about 1868 probably, right? Anyway, so he wants to ride his motorcycle and punch his dog, whatever that means. So yeah, he's teaching a little bit less often, but he still teaches plenty to come. He comes and helps out. Heard Tim loves New Jersey. I am still only slightly worried. I mean, he's going to go, but he is going to probably bitch and moan about it the whole time. Barbary Wars. Yep. Tim can't retire. That's what I tell him. I tell him all the time, like, Tim, you're going to be 90 in a hover round chair with a mechanical voice modulator yelling fight. Like, I'm not going to let him off that easy after all the shit I've had to put up with from him. No. Just got an appendix rig for my Glock. Do you use some sort of wedge padding? I do not. The only thing that I have on this holster is it whatever it came with is just a little piece of plastic that pushes the frame more into my gut. But yeah, I mean, like, I'm not the guy to ask about like adding stuff to the holster. I just deal with it, Now, if Lewis was here, though, if you guys haven't seen, Lewis and them and DeWalt and Sonny have been doing live streams as well lately. So you need to go ahead and you could probably hit Lewis up in one of those live streams, because he's the dude who went and bought a yoga block and some epoxy and like was with a hot knife like shaving the yoga block into like the perfect shape and stuff like that. So he's the dude you want to ask about that for sure. For me, I don't have time to put more that much more work into it. I'm sure it would be more comfortable, but guns are supposed to be comforting, not comfortable. Big fan of wedges and claws on holsters. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not doubting the work that they do for you, but I ain't got time. Can you imagine how creepy Humana would sound from a voice box? That's what we need to be using AI for. We need to be putting all of Tim's catchphrases into it just so we can have that forever. Tim teaching fighting pistols, a 2-for-1. You get a class and a comedy show. Yes. Not about comfort, but concealment. Yeah. Yes, actually, you're right. It does help push it more into you and hide the gun better. Yeah, absolutely. 20 years, we can put Tim in a dreadnought from 40K. Hell yeah. Dude, I fall asleep listening to the lore. Not to turn this into nerd talk. Mark Curtis or Dylan or whatever, you guys can message me outside of this. I'm just going to put it into the ether. But it's like, man, if I really wanted to like learn the lore without playing the game, like where do I go? Like, do they have like books? Is there like a canon book series that I could read to learn more about these things and stuff like that? Or do I just have to bust out like the core rule book and read the information from there? I don't know. Anyway, like I said, not to turn it into Warhammer talk, we'll scare everybody away. But if you know the answer to that, shoot me a message. Try Burkett holsters for appendix. Okay. It's not about comfort, but concealment. Lady special or EDC combo for the win. Dude, yeah, my normal is the EDC combo, but the only one I have is for a light attachment, and that light's broken. It won't go on the gun anymore. So now I'm rocking whatever holster I have on right now. We need an AI, Tim. What was I about to do? Burkett. I was going to look that up. So I don't forget. That's, again, fucking... I do like having this laptop here right now. Oh, is that Green Force Tactical? Oh, yeah. I've worn one of these before. We had some for our Force on Force stuff. Okay, nice. Greetings from Dirty Jersey. Hey, man, we were just talking about Jersey. Yep, and we just rocked... yeah, we just rocked a shotgun class down here. I'm excited to get up there. I hope your people up there are excited and everything like that. I think it's going to be a good time. Though I was saying, like, Tim will definitely be there. He's just going to bitch and moan the whole time. And I can't promise I can't promise that he won't give a bunch of people shit for living in Jersey while he's there. But if it makes you feel any better, I'm going to get the worst of it. There's like 1,040K books. Yeah, but are they canon? I'm going to text you about arrangements. Please do. Excellent. Thank you, sir. But are they canon is what I'm curious about. Like, where do I go? Or maybe even if they're not canon necessarily, I just want to learn more about the lore behind everything. Tim needs to read his memoirs on Audible. That would be amazing. Yep. Sonny worked with Green Force for years to develop the Burkett. Okay, very cool. What's going on, Joey Sandhouse? Glad you can make it, man. Okay, yeah, shit. Well, maybe I just need to reach out to those guys over there at Green Force. Yeah, it is expected. Nice. Dude, here's a little bit of gear stuff for you guys. Sorry. Les, did Tim ever get that Canic fixed? He broke during the red dot class. I did the milling for his red dot. If not, send to me. I will fix. Dude, that's very kind of you. Let's see. He was just asking about you the other day. So, no, long story short, no, he did not fix it. That's very kind of you to offer. I'll reach out to you and we'll work something out. I appreciate that. But yeah, so we were going through we were doing the shotgun class these past, what day was it? Thursday, Friday. And we had Isaac in class, and he showed up with some magazine fed machine gun that like literally didn't get one round out. But I think, I don't know if it's magazine fed shotguns tend not to do well in class. I think that was just a lemon from the company. I like not something to hang your hat on kind of thing. Like, I'm not swearing that gun off necessarily, but anyway, then we had someone else show up with a crazy gun. It's like a Tavor looking shotgun kind of thing. And so that was Joey. Joe Jenkins showed up with it, and that thing went all the way through class. So all 5 days he was here for the way of, and I think I think he had one malfunction that was induced whenever he was shooting on cover and concealment, and it, like, literally he was too close to the cover because it was a low light stuff. Hit the cover, came right back, and got caught up in there or impeded it in some way, shape, or form. And then he had one failure to fire on the last day of class. So I don't remember the exact make and model of it, but that was a cool little gun, man. It looked like something from Starship Troopers. I mean, it was like real big and blocky, and it had these tubes where you spun it and lined it up and everything like that. So I got some pictures and videos of it. I'll post them online soon. I was supposed to post them already. I'm going to start trying to post do a photo dump in the alumni group, like you guys saw from that Way of the Pistol class the other day. And so I'm going to try to start doing that for dumping for people in class. That's where you'll be able to find your pictures and stuff like that. And then I'll take the good ones and maybe make individual social media posts out of and stuff like that. Let's see, we had Burley in class, so apparently I had no idea, but if you guys don't know, it's an alumni of ours. 60, I think she said she was 60 years old and went through all 5 days of Way of the Shotgun. It was awesome and ridiculous. and she crushed it. She did a very good job. And if you guys don't remember, if you're thinking about having a shotgun around in your house, in particular, if you've got smaller statured people in there, because not only is she 60, but she's short, she's thin, she's a small lady. And James's biggest recommendation back then was to get the 870 20 gauge in a youth model. And because she was not rocking the youth model, she had a 20 gauge, but it was full size. And definitely during some of the drills where you're shooting for longer than, 8-ish rounds, she was definitely getting fatigued. She could barely catch, like with just her thumb and 2 front fingers, index and middle, she was just barely catching the pump. So I mean, like, her shoulders wore out and everything like that. And so get the youth model. It's more compact. It's easier for them to use. Anyway, and that's it was just on my mind while she was in class, and I wanted to tell you guys. 60, but her shoulders are now 80. Yeah, man. Dude, she crushed it. I don't think I heard her complain at all. Now, I'm not saying like if she was complaining to her son at the hotel room about it or anything like that, but in class, she didn't say a word about her shoulders being sore. One time, she was shooting on the move, and her arm got tired, and she was like, "Hey, I think I'm about done." I was like, "Oh yeah, bad guy's down." Because I was just sometimes when I'm teaching or like running someone through a drill, I forget how much time has passed because I just get so like I'm just watching them, making sure they're doing everything correct and stuff like that. Got to play with a Panzer M4 Benelli M4 clone this weekend. Seems to be a solid option. Hey, that's what Wes showed up with, was the Benelli M4 clone. That gun ran great. He was only here for the 2 days, so the Thursday, Friday fighting shotgun. Yeah, he had no issues out of that. I didn't get to shoot it. I meant to ask him to let me shoot it. I think Tim did, but yeah, no, that seems, from my 2 days with it, of running the hell out of it, or seeing someone else run the hell out of it, I should say, it did great. All the guns in class did very well. We had, what was everybody running? We had that space gun, that Tavor, I shouldn't say Tavor, but bullpup style shotgun. Kim was using some type of Mossberg. Then we had the M4 clone. Then we had a bunch of 1301s, of course. And then Tanner showed up with some like bottom load, bottom eject. That wasn't fun. That did not look like a good time. Part of the reason why I think running a shotgun is so cool is being able to port load it, and you can't port load those. So why do that to yourself? You're losing like the most important part of the shotgun, which is to look cool. Wish I lived in Camden. Do you have Frito-Lay out there? Yes, Tyler, you're right. They do have those at Casey's. Look at that cat ass just throwing it out there to you. How far away is Pulaski, Tennessee? Oh, you ran the Mac 1014 Benelli and 4 clone. Okay, perfect. Yeah, no, I mean, again, I was just, so you were listening. That thing was great. Didn't seem, did you have any problems out of it that I wasn't there for? That 16-year-old last month had a bunch of issues with that 22 pistol, but kept working and didn't complain. Really inspiring. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, the 22s, sometimes those are a little finicky and stuff like that. But yeah, she did great. She just pushed through and kept working until we were able to. I think she ended up swapping guns on day 2, but yeah, she got plenty of malfunction practices. David rocked the 1301. Yeah, that was. I'm trying to think who had pump guns. I don't remember seeing an 870 in class. Was anybody running an 870? I don't think so. Other than Tanner and Kim, I don't think there was anybody else with a pump gun. Am I crazy? Anyway, a dot on a shotgun is a wonderful thing. Yeah. Especially when you start talking about, using your slugs with it, or even, or I guess even with the patterning your buckshot and stuff like that. So something that we don't normally do that Tim and I have decided is being added to the outline, because we talk about you guys doing it after fighting shotgun. We'll do a hostage shot, and then we use bird shot, and it's on steel. And that's why we do it with bird shot, but it's on steel. And but in the way of, what we ended up doing was getting some cardboard targets, because after shotgun, we tell people like, hey, you've patterned your buckshot, you know what it's going to do. Go home, confirm your pattern with whatever round you're going to use, and then set this up on cardboard so you can see what you would need to do if you had to make a hostage shot with buckshot. And so we actually got to do that on the range, and it had been so long since I had done it that it was a lot of fun seeing everybody else work through it and what you can really do with it. Like it's crazy, Dot or circle on shotgun. So I know Lewis talked about, he liked having Lewis is circle only kind of guy, but he liked the circle for his in particular because at whatever yard he was at, his pattern almost matched the circle. And so he was like, yeah, like at the furthest shot in my house, I know that wherever that circle is covering on the target, damn near that's where my pattern is at. So I think the circle's kind of cool if you can get it to work out that way. And even if you don't, even if it's a little outside of that circle or something like that, or a little inside of the circle, I think it's great. I think the circle only reticle is awesome. But Lewis is even more of a fan of it on the shotguns compared to the pistols. Now, with that being said, I don't have an optic on my shotgun. It's just a big dot. So Benelli has recently now come out with a non-neutered M4. Comes with a stock 7-round tube for anybody to purchase, like $2,600. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, I can't. I don't know, man. I guess if I had the disposable income, I'd be like, yeah, sure, whatever, But I'll just rock my 870, or if I really need that semi-automatic, I'll do the A300. You were very upset to see Mr. Gallicanocus on the range when you were there. Listen, let me tell you something. It was raining whenever I hauled him out there for a rifle class, and he was heavy. And now he has stayed wet. And so I'm like, I keep saying, all right, I'm gonna wait for it to be dry for a few days, and then it'll go a few days and it'll rain. And I'm like, all right, well, let's reset that timer. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I told Tim in this in this advanced class, we were doing some downed operator drills. I said, hey, like, listen, if we want to fuck with them, I'll go grab Gallicanocus, and we can really put these guys to work. And Tim was nice that day. He did not make them haul him around. Oh, dude, no doubt. At least a whole lot. He weighs at least a whole lot right now. Too much, some might say. Yep. Let's see what else, guys. I know it's been 2 weeks. I was getting why did I miss the first week? I can't remember. But then I got sick. And so I was getting over a cold that was kicking my ass last week. So what has been going on in these last 2 weeks with you guys? Send something out, ask a question, tell me something to talk about. Let's see. Because I don't really have much for you guys as usual. No. Is there anything that I missed up here? Wexler never answered me about that poly single guide rod. Anybody else know why the poly single guide rod is an interesting choice? Like, why does that matter? Am I crazy for not knowing why that matters? Yeah, let's see. Yeah, we've talked a little bit about the Gen 6 stuff. I haven't watched any of the videos. I think it was the Tactical Rabbi said that they did a range day or a range shoot with the Gen 6s. And so we talked a little bit about it, some of the new features that they have with it and everything. I mean, not to rehash it or anything too crazy, but you know how we feel about Glocks. I'm not. It's going to be a Glock. I like the idea of some of the changes. You know, I think the beaver tail is fine. I'm curious about what that flat face trigger will feel like. Not that it's a big deal necessarily. Like, you know, someone else said, just train more. But yeah, you know, I'm a little like, why is there a thumb rest now? Like, or has that always been what they called that spot on the gun? Things like that. But you know, I'm here for it, man. I'll give it a shot. I ain't scared. We got some great practice in at the range and did some long range pistol shooting. Dude, that it's too much fun doing the long range pistol stuff. So we were doing the shotgun and we were on break. And of course, we're down at the shotgun range and we have that long piece of steel that we use for the, 100-yard slug shot. And Tim was like, oh, I'm just going to plink at the steel real quick. And as soon as Tim started to get his pistol out and try to hit the steel, or not try to, Tim did hit the steel. Everybody else, I mean, we took like a 30-minute break. Everybody just sitting there like a line with their pistols, all like plinking at this steel and stuff. It's fun. Let's see. Anyone have experience with Axle Pro ear protection? Unfortunately, not on my end, because James melted one when he shot the 1,000 rounds through a Gen 3. Oh, well, is that the polyrod thing? Okay. From what I've read, Glock went back to the single polymer guide rod because that's all they needed in 9mm GATs. It's a single coil recoil spring versus two. I think the older gens had that style. If anything affects the reliability, it will be that. Interesting. Okay. The flat trigger is what I'm most excited about. Yeah, I mean, for the people who care about that, I know, right? Like that's on. Doesn't like a Smith and doesn't the M&Ps? Don't the M&Ps have a flat trigger? I feel like that's something that Lewis has talked about why he likes that more than the Glock trigger. So I'd be curious about it. I'm super curious. Gen 4 had issues with recoil assembly when it came out. Grant, when him and Sherman did that, the gun ran the last 150 rounds without the guide rod in the gun. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So that's kind of what I was talking about earlier is I'm fine with all of these changes as long as it doesn't affect the reliability, right? So we'll just kind of have to see where that goes. Very, very curious where that decision came from. So other than that's all they needed in 9mm GATs. So said the dual spring started as more of a 40 thing. Yeah. Right. Okay. We'll see. If I happen to get one, if I get my hands on one where I own it, my plan will be to just hand it out in class. Anybody who's got like a Glock 19, I'll let them run it in the class and boom, see how many rounds it goes through before we have any issues with that recoil spring. Why didn't they update the sites? Yeah, we talked about that a little bit too. Is it because people will change whatever they put on them? Yeah, that's what I have always heard. Is that when and I can't remember, it was either from James or Tim. I think it was from Tim, and Tim heard it from James, I think, that when they asked somebody over there at Glock, like, hey, why do you guys still send out these plastic sites? And it was, because people are going to change them. I don't know. The SIG P365s have a flat trigger. Okay. Will Glock still offer a pistol with a red dot? I don't know. Are they still doing the Koa thing or whatever that was? This comes optic ready, but I don't know if it comes with a if you can get one with the red dot. The Gen 6 17 is very different. It has the Glock 19 recoil assembly like the Glock 47 or G47. Do 1,000 round torture test like James did. Dude, if someone mentioned earlier that, if I asked, they might send one, I don't know. I might just send an email and be like, hey, you guys want us to blow your gun up? The optics cut also sits lower and is improved from the MOS. I mean, that's another thing that I would have to get tested. Now, I think I could reach out to Holosun and probably get them to hook me up with something for a video like that. But I'd be curious if that MOS system, how many rounds it holds up to, Gen 5, okay. Not seen a Gen 6 Koa. Koa was going to be agency only until they got caught up. Damn, that's crazy. All right, well, it is what it is. And that's the only at the moment, right? That's the only way you can get a gun from Glock with like an optic already on it. Yeah. Glock sent a guy to Ben Stoger with a case of guns just because he mentioned it. Doesn't hurt to ask. Yeah. Okay. Right. The worst they can do is say no. Nice. Well, thank you guys for answering my question. Unlike Wexler, I knew I could count on you. Let's see. Just making sure I didn't miss anything up from up here in these other comments. Nope, nothing. Cool. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Collab between Glock and Aimpoint. Yep. Yep. Now, I mean, those are cool though. Excuse me. Garrett has shown up a few times with his Glock with the Koa setup on it. No complaints here. In fact, was that the gun that he let that girl use in pistol that time? I can't remember. Let's see. What else, guys? Throw something out. Dylan and Tyler came down. I was supposed to hang out with them and shoot some guns. I missed out on some awesome training. Did you watch the stream with Lewis, Josh, Sonny, and Focus Trip? It was very civil and professional. So I caught the tail end of the first live stream they did. Now, are you talking about the one that they did specifically, like in response to, what's his name's video? Because I was in and out of that one. But I did not watch the latest one that they just put out the other day. So far, the Koa is my favorite over both of my MOS guns. Yeah, I mean, Sonny punches Lewis for $200. Damn. I mean, had him on for an interview on Monday. No, I haven't. I have not watched that one. Yeah, that's funny. I mean, Sonny did punch Lewis for $200. Yeah, I mean, Sonny would do that for free. The commenters on that video were very closed-minded to everything those guys said. So on specifically talking about the video that with Focus Trip in it, getting my Glock slide with combat cuts back from Glock store tomorrow, hoping for good results. Well, Ghost Anime 84, I hope you get some good results as well. Yeah, man. If I make and pass the Fire Academy, I'm going to gift myself a Glock 19 Koa for becoming a Miami-Dade firefighter. Hell yeah. I mean, treat yourself, right? I was just having a conversation with Will about that the other day. Like every once in a while, you just gotta treat yourself. So what's this? Focus Trip. Make sure the volume's turned down. Let's see if I can find some of those comments that you guys are talking about. Damn, this is almost 4 hours. That's crazy. Fucking Lewis. There were a few misunderstandings where they ended up talking past each other, but Sonny invited Focus Trip down to train, and Lewis talked about meeting up at SHOT. Yeah, very cool. I wonder if there's just general comments. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, but anyway, I was saying fucking Lewis because he is not scared of some long form live streams, that's for sure. When I got mine, they were getting very hard to find because of that. Stupid expensive. Yep. The commenters tried to rage bait the guys a lot and wouldn't stop saying Josh is fat. Damn. But they ignored the chat during the interview. Ah, man, those motherfuckers. Dude. I don't give a shit. Like, again, like I told you guys, don't get into the comments arguing with people. But DeWalt is a good dude. And fuckers dudes on the internet, like, man, like you don't even know. Like you don't know these people. Anyway. Let's see. Let's see. Hey, man. I mean, I'm going through the comments here in the video itself, and everything so far has been pretty chill. So I'll have to go and watch this, I think. I personally couldn't handle controversial stuff like that. Makes me way too salty, right? They called Lewis a Timu John level. Now, listen, I mean, what was it, dude? Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Mods should have banned the rude commenters. Yeah, you know, the shit talking was on the other guy's feed. Okay. Well, that's the comment section that I'm looking at. It's just, well, and it's just on the comments posted to the video after, not like live chat videos. You know, it's tough because you don't want to remove dissenting opinions, you know, because that you don't want to be in an echo chamber kind of thing, right? But when guys are just being assholes, like, yeah, when they're just being straight up rude, yeah. Focus Trip was making money off those comments. Okay. The guys took everything in stride. Yeah, I mean, I don't think well, Sonny doesn't give a shit. DeWalt is a pretty chill dude. I can't imagine him letting comments get him riled up and stuff like that. And Lewis, when the camera was pointed at him, he was, you know, he's going to keep it professional. I would not be surprised if after the video was done, if Lewis didn't rant and rave a little bit, but I watched their feed because I wanted to see if anybody would be open-minded, to see if that's a crowd I want to be a part of. Yeah. Another interesting conversation I had with Will, he brought something up at dinner while we were all sitting around talking, and it was a conversation. I'm not going to get in because I'm not taking his advice. I'm not living the life he is in that moment, about that topic that he brought up. But anyway, you know, brought it up. It's a thing that most of us, most of the people who run in this crowd would disagree with, kind of thing. And we were talking about it afterwards. And he was like, yeah, I bring stuff like that up because I don't want to be in an echo chamber, and I want people to hear dissenting opinions, kind of thing, right? So, you know, fucking sometimes, like, there's probably a bunch of people in that group that were closed-minded, that were not ready to hear whatever Sonny and them were talking about. But then there's also those guys that were in there who were kind of on the fence, who could have went one way or the other, and now they have new information to take further down this Marshall path, where maybe they can make some course adjustments and things like that. Echo chamber, like using big dots. Hey, listen, you don't have to have big dots. You can rock F8s. I'm okay with F8s. I think big dots are better, but you know, F8s are a fine substitute. They just talked constant shit. Yeah, I hate to hear that. Let's see, I'd have to walk out, or you'd have to put me on ketamine to make it through it. Damn, that's crazy. Let's see, Sandcals, I had a long career as a firefighter. Your gift is your career, but a Glock would be nice too. Yeah, why not both, right? Echo chamber, yeah, already read that one. Very cool. Nice. No, okay. Wow, fuck, that's 4 hours. Man, I got some homework to do, I guess. I'll have to turn it on while I'm like riding around or something, I guess. Nice. Well, guys, here we are. I need to try the other XS models because I like the company. They make high quality products, even if they are wrong sometimes. Yep. Well, I'm a fan of XS. And yeah, so the only ones that I really have experience with are the F8s and, of course, the big dots. And then there are 3D 2.0s, which are, I mean, pretty close to the F8s and stuff like that. So, dude, they're great. You should try them out. You should try the other models, because they're a good company. No, your big dot video was not too controversial to post. I just haven't posted it yet. Well, the sad news is we may have to re-record that. Hey, man. Yep, text me tomorrow. I'll be teaching tomorrow and Friday, but I'll hit you up after I'm off the range if you text me on either of those days. Same to you. Stay dangerous. People can have different opinions and still get along. Just because you like the color blue and not lime green doesn't mean anyone's wrong. Yeah, I think that Craig Douglas put it best in the video where he was talking about how he doesn't like how we teach people to reholster. You know, he thinks you should look the gun into the holster, and he doesn't like using the thumb to find it and everything like that. And he mentions us by name in the video, but he's very professional about it, and he says that we can disagree without being disagreeable. And I think that's just the way to do it. You know, like, that's the end of the line. Absolutely. Like James used to say, every gun I have has something from XS on it, except for my two MOS pistols with optics. Well, yeah, that's why you should have some backup irons from XS on there. Fix it. Fix that problem. Lime green is the only choice until white returns. My orange big dots have lost their contrast indoors, and the tritium is weak now. Well, you gotta get that lime green, yellowish tennis ball color. There are Florida fire departments that allow carrying on duty. That's awesome. I didn't realize that they didn't allow carrying on duty, or that they would do that for fire departments in general. You know, that's crazy. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and start getting ready to close things out here. Let me make sure I talked about everything. So we have the bug out weekend coming up soon. Dylan, I know you guys are nearby. Even if you don't want to hang out in the cold, if you want to come down and hang out, we're going to have a good time. Oh yeah, you just talked about teaching big dot stuff. So yeah. So guys, if you're nearby, Yeah, allowed versus able, right? If you're nearby and you want to come hang out in the cold with us the first weekend in July, that's going to be a good time. Outside of that, the other big one is our mobile classes. Keep an eye out on the schedule for that. We have the like Rock was talking about, we have the class shotgun coming up in New Jersey. We've got road classes coming up in the January, first weekend in January, sorry. Then we have the road classes. Sorry, I'm crazy. I was thinking about alumni weekend as well. So yeah, anyway, check out the road classes, things like that. I'll be back next week. I won't be teaching. There's no more classes scheduled, but I'll be here for the weekly live streams until I get tired of doing them. This is the way, guys. Now, where did I press that button? There it is.